It's roughly 20 minutes to the hour of 7 o'clock. And of course, we are still talking about what's been trending, the fact that the price of flour has increased in Trinidad and Tobago. But all is not lost, and right here on the Now Morning Show, we are finding that silver lining. This morning, we have with us senior dietitian from the NWRHA, Miss Alicia Surajlal, to talk to us about some of the alternatives and how we, again, can flip this and find some more nutrition in our lives and benefit ourselves and our families. Good morning.
Good morning, Tasha. Good morning, Rockus. Good morning, TNT.
How are you?
I'm great, thank you. Thank you for having me. Thank you for having this conversation. So very important at this time.
Oh, it is important because one of the things we need to do, we need to be able to make some healthier food choices.
Sure.
Let's be frank about it.
Sure.
You know, one of the things Rockus and I were talking about earlier this morning when we first opened is, you remember last time when fried chicken went up, a lot of people were very upset. But this
Yes.
time we're focusing a bit more on the flour. And this is the perfect time to have the conversation because we have our own food groups right here in Trinidad and Tobago that we can use
Yes.
as alternates.
Yes.
So, I mean, let's just jump into the conversation about what can we do, what can we use as alternatives.
Okay, so flour falls within our staples group, which is the main source of carbohydrates. So within that group, there are other options. So besides flour is mainly made of wheat, but within the group itself, there are ground provisions, and NAMDEFCO recently announced, which is really, really good for us as a population, that they do have root crop flours available. In addition, the provision of itself, so sweet potato, yam, dasheen, cassava, all these are options within that group, as well as other things like sweet plantain. We have breadfruit, you know, green figs. Those are other options that we have within that group. So lots of other options: corn, rice, barley. You know, the list goes on. So all hope is not lost.
All hope is not lost. I'm excited because I just said green fig, and
green fig.
I did not know until now that there's green fig flour, and I have a whole fig batch, so I'm ready to make flour. We're going to make flour on the Now Morning Show, guys. So that's available at NAMDEFCO, correct?
Yes, those types of flours are, but the product of itself, in terms of using the root crop of itself, is also very nutritious. So even if you're not converting to flour, you can utilize those in your recipes and alternate change, because the benefit you get with those is that they do have a lot of good dietary fiber, which in turn help with good gut health.
Okay.
And we all need good gut health.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
In fact, I dare say, correct me if I'm wrong, that the dietary fiber in these things that you just mentioned, complex carbs, if I'm not mistaken, are actually far healthier for you.
Yes, they are.
Than your wheat flour.
Yes, so they are soluble types of fiber. So actually, they have a dual benefit in that they also can help reduce with cholesterol in the body, in addition to promoting good health, good gut health.
Yeah.
Right? So those are some of the benefits and alternatives to the use of flour in the diet.
Yeah. And it's good also that it's available. Okay, so viewers, you're seeing on the screen right now a guide to meal planning for healthy eating, the Caribbean food groups, the staples which you discussed right there. We're also seeing legumes as well.
Yes, so legumes is your peas, beans, and nuts. And they do also, especially dried peas and beans, do consist of a high quality carbs and protein mix. So you do get dual benefit from those. Again, and especially when we're promoting sensible shopping, dried peas and beans is the way to go because the yield is a lot more. So on the days like when you're off or when you're home, like that Sunday cooking, and you want to buy a big pack of peas, burst it and freeze it, portion it, you know, put some in the freezer. Those things can easily be converted into soups. It can be used in a pilau when you have those things available. So it's all about seeing how you can utilize items and getting the best buck for your money.
So when you spoke about soups in particular, a lot of people would use flour to thicken their soups, right? So now we're looking at the option of using legumes instead, and even provision.
Yeah, so the base would be like a pea or bean base. So split peas, or some persons use lentil, black-eyed pea soup is really good as well.
Yeah.
All right, so you can have a versatility with the beans as a base, and you can add your ground provisions to it if you're making a thicker quality soup, or mainly have it vegetable. Some persons prefer strictly veg based.
Yes.
So they'll put carrots, pumpkin, and some green veg in there like spinach or pak choy. That's perfectly fine as well. So once you're having, in terms of making sure that you're eating from your food groups, your diet would be balanced.
Okay.
You wouldn't be missing out on any of your nutrients. So that's the main key. So we want to promote, even when times, when there's little in the cupboard, once you have that staple or carbohydrate and your protein and put in some veg in there, your diet can be complete.
Okay, yeah, and that's so important because one of the first things that comes to mind, of course, is a lot of people have some sort of flour for breakfast, whether it be a bake, whether it's bread, sada, even, I mean, roti, this is what we eat in the morning. So it's finding those things and that are also budget friendly, again, so important.
Yeah, and especially for parents, I know that's, you know, you want something to grab and go, and we understand that. But there are options, and sometimes we need to rethink a little bit, plan ahead. Those are some quick things and some options. For instance, a breakfast smoothie, you have leftover bananas, some pawpaw. You don't have to go foreign to get your fruits. You shop local, you know, ripe bananas. You don't even need to add sugar for sweetness. Once you have that overripe banana there that's left out in the cupboard, you pop that in with some pawpaw, a tablespoon of peanut butter, some oats, a perfect breakfast smoothie. So it has a protein in there, you have your fruit in there, you have your carbs, good for energy. So, you know, breakfast is important. That's very quick, takes 5 minutes. Other thing is, for instance, you mentioned green figs. Now, green figs are actually a very good type of carb. It's resistant starch, and it's very economical. And sometimes for breakfast, persons have green fig and sardine or tuna. That's a good option there as well. Even flipping it around with pancakes. Instead of flour, oats. Blend your oats. You don't need flour. Blend your oats. Oats, again, is another cheap and versatile product. It's also very good, again, with the soluble fibers. And you can make your oats pancakes and have your little omelette on the side. So those are quick things. Kids love pancakes. They love quick things. I always tell people, look at the gadgets that you're not using. They're meant to save you time, but a lot of the time we have them packed away in the cupboard. Sometimes it's to dust them off, see how we can get them back up and using. So, you know, bring out the blender, bring out the, you know, we have the little press, you know, the toaster ovens, those things that save time in the morning. And even you can plan ahead, bulk cook, freeze and pull it out, so it's easy.
It is easy. So that's the next question I was going to ask about meal prep, because I know that's one of the key things to make things far easier in the morning. Now, you've given us some fantastic examples for breakfast, again, where flour is a staple. What about looking at something like lunch? Is there anything that you can recommend briefly to the viewing public and to me as well, because I'm taking notes right now?
Yeah, no problem. All right, so even for myself, what I do is I mean, time is of the essence. We're all busy, we have lots to do, and some of us, we don't want to spend a lot of time in the kitchen, and that's perfectly fine. So, you know, you again, planning is essential. So you have that one day, okay, I'm making these things, and you know, meal prep is important. So I always say do the things that will hold up in the freezer first. So like your meats, so roast, bake your chicken, bake your meats, have it available. So when in the week you can take that leftover chicken and make a chicken salad, right? You can take that leftover peas, like I said, and just steam some rice, and you have some body and chicken and rice on the side. So, you know, it's all about planning. Make the freezer your friend. So, you know, date your stuff, put it in there. When you're ready, defrost, and then you can safely add. So things that will take a bit more time would be your peas and meats to cook, but your sides are very simple. Salad, wash and go. You know, so you can pop that together with some nice pieces, cuts, even your peas and beans in a tin. Nothing is wrong once you know how to prepare it well. So we recently celebrated National Nutrition Awareness Week this month, and our theme this year was Nourish the Body, Save on Your Pocket. And one of the things we were promoting as well as in the Northwest was a video showcasing how you can use peas and beans as an alternative to patty or meatballs. So it's just simply using either your dried peas and beans or your canned, and crushing it, mashing it, and making it into balls, and season it well, of course, and it's an alternative to have, and packed with carbohydrates, good protein, so, you know, flavorful, good for the kids as well, a good item to have in the fridge, pull out and go.
And budget friendly. Alicia, thank you so much for being with us this morning. We really appreciate it. And Trinidad and Tobago, as you can see, we showed you a bit earlier, the Caribbean food groups. Get familiar with it. We have everything available right here in Trinidad and Tobago. We just spoke with Alicia Surajlal, senior dietitian from the NWRHA. Stay tuned, because it's still Tobago Thursdays on the Now Morning Show, and coming up in a few moments, we're going to be talking about the THA budget.